بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد
وآله الطيبين الطاهرين لا سيما بقية الله في الأرضين أجل الله تعالى فرجه الشريف اللهم أخرجني من ظلمات الوهم وأكرمني بنور الفهم اللهم افتح علينا أبواب رحمتك وانشر علينا خزائن علومك برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. We continue our discussion about الشبهة غير المحصورة, page 223. الشبهة غير المحصورة. We reached روايات. Yes? So we said there are some arguments to show that we don't need to observe that taklif which was there, that duty which was there, when it is one of many parties, to the extent that normal people would not take that probability seriously. One reason was that it would make life very, very difficult if you want to do ihtiyat. It would lead to usru al-haraj. And this is one of the rules in fiqh, that any ruling that in its very legislation there is no difficulty. Be careful. Usru haraj is when in the legislation there is no difficulty, which is not tolerable, but you face circumstances that you have then to undertake something which is not tolerable, then normally the rule is that you don't need to do it. So we are not talking about, for example, some issues like, jihad, because in very legislation of jihad there is usru haraj. Okay, we are not talking about that. Or maybe even, for example, for some people, for example, giving homes is usru haraj. They are going to die, if if they want to give this money. No, we mean something for average people, and something that in its very legislation there is no usru haraj. So it's not like jihad, and it's not for few people, like homes which for few people might be difficult. Average people can do it. So if there is a case that now it has become very, very difficult, for example, wudu. Wudu by itself is not very difficult. But imagine you are in a freezing cold winter, and if you want to get water, you have to go miles away in snow and get water. And even water is frozen, you have to come and melt the water, something that no one can do it except if it makes life really miserable for them. So in that case you may say you do tayammum. Yeah. So we have this facility in Islamic Sharia that if anything leads to usru haraj, we would be exempted. Of course, there are lots of details, as I said. So we said, if someone wants to do ihtiyat in shubahat ghayr al-mahsura, it would lead to usru haraj. For example, one butcher in the whole London sells haram meat. You cannot say avoid all of them. Or 10 butchers in London. You cannot say avoid all of them. The second thing is الروايات الواردة حول الشراء من الظالم. There are some hadiths that says you can buy something from an unjust person, an oppressor, that he has different sources of income. Part of his income is through haram. He has, taken by force money of people. But he has also other sources of income. Can we buy something from him? Imagine there is a person that has lots of cows and, you want to buy milk. But this person also, that has taken money of some people, some other farmers. Or there is a governor who does this, So there are hadiths which says that you can buy from such people, and ulama say this refers to ash-shubahatu ghayrul mahsura. When there are so many different sides that the chance is very little. You cannot say it relates to shubahatul mahsura, and you cannot say there is no such hadith. So the only place which we can locate these hadiths is shubahat غير المحصورة. So الروايات الواردة حول الشراء من الظالم, buying from ظالم, المحمولة على الشبهة غير المحصورة. These hadiths are interpreted to be applicable to shubahat غير المحصورة. And these riwayat indicate that there is no need to avoid. Okay, first, روى إسحاق بن عمار عن الرجل يشتري من العامل وهو يظلم. Ishaq ibn Ammar narrates that if someone buys from Amil, from a person who works, for example, a person who is commissioned to collect tax or do something, so that he has different types of money. And this particular person, وَهُوَ يَظْلِمْ, he is zalim. He is not observing laws and regulations. Imam said, يَشْتَرِي مِنْهُ ما لم يعلم أنه ظلم فيه أحدا. He buys from him what he doesn't know that he has committed zulm with respect to it. So any item, if you are not sure that this is taken by zulm, you can take it. Although you know that he is zalim, but you don't know that this particular one. So it shows that in shubahat ghayr al-mahsura, you don't need. If you say no, it is even about shubahat al-mahsura, that is not acceptable, because if it is 2-3 things, you have to do ihtiyat. So yashtari min ma lam ya'lam, buys from him what he doesn't know that annahu zalama fiha ahada, that he has done zulm to someone with respect to it. Basically, maybe it's okay. Yes.
Someone has a business like selling alcohol, and they send you something.
That's another issue.
So can you accept it and eat it when you know that it's coming from the proceed of the selling of?
That's another issue. If that person has different types of money and maybe has a lot, normally they say as long as this might be coming from halal source, it's okay. Maximum is, for example, if it is shubha mahsura, maybe you do ihtiyat. But if you are sure that this particular food is from money of haram, of course you cannot use it. The second hadith, ما رواه عبد الرحمن بن أبي عبد الله قال سألته عن الرجل أيشتري من العامل وهو يظلم. Can someone buy from amil, from an agent, agent who works, for example, for government. In the past, there were local agents, collectors of the tax, this type of thing. Can buy from him, and this person is doing zulm. The answer is yashtari min. He can buy from it. The interpretation is that because you are not sure that this particular one is from haram and zulm, and there are so many different types that he has, that maybe.
So is it the person that's doing zulm or the government?
No, this amil,
Okay.
this one that you are buying from him. وَقَدْ وَرَدَتْ.
It should be the thing he's selling is not from Zulm.
Yeah, so you don't know this is from zulm. Maybe this is not zulm. وَقَدْ وَرَدَتْ رِوَايَاتٌ فِي أَخْذِ الْجَوَائِزِ مِنَ الظَّالِمِ. Jaiza means gift. You take gifts or prizes from zalim, but you don't know this particular gift is from a money which is haram. إِلَى غَيْرِ ذَلِكَ مِنَ الرِّوَايَاتِ. And there are other riwayat, so you can add to these riwayat, other riwayat, and altogether these riwayat al-murithate lil-yaqeen. They lead to yaqeen. Yaqeen in what? بعدم وجوب الموافقة القطعية. That it's not necessary to 100% make sure that you have obeyed. Al-muwafaqa al-qat'iyya means decisive obedience. Because if you want to make sure that definitely you have observed the ruling which was there, you have to do ihtiyat. But this is not necessary. عدم وجوب الموافقة القطعية بمعنى اجتناب الجميع. Because here, if you want to be 100% sure, you have to avoid all of them. This is not necessary. In the riwayat, it didn't say, if that person is zalim, you have to avoid everything, whether you know this is from zulm or not. No, it says, as long as you don't know it is from zulm, you can use it. Okay. Another issue, tanbih, is a note here. We said shubha ghayr al-mahsura is, for example, 1 in 1,000. Shubha mahsura is, for example, 1 in 10. What about if instead of knowing 1 cup in 10 or 1 cup in 5, it is 5 cups in 20? It says, again, it becomes mahsura. So, if it is 1 in something or few in something, then what is important is the probability. Yeah? So, for example, you cannot say, because it's 1 of something in 1,000, it's غير محصورة. Is it 1 in 1,000 or is it, for example, 50 in 1,000? Okay, so just the number of the different parties or different sides would not define whether it is mahsura or غير mahsura. It depends how many in how many. So the overall balance is important. إذا كان المردد في الشبهة غير المحصورة أفرادا كثيرة. If what is unknown in shubha غير محصورة is not 1, it's many individuals. نسبة مجموعها إلى المشتبهات كنسبة الشيء إلى الأمور المحصورة. To the extent that this many number divided into all sides of shubha غير محصورة becomes like محصورة, like 100 in 1,000. So it becomes like 1 in 10. You cannot say 1,000 is غير محصورة and remains غير محصورة. So نسبة مجموعها إلى المشتبهات كنسبة الشيء إلى الأمور المحصورة. It becomes like 1 in few. كما إذا علم بوجود 100 شاة محرمة في ضمن 1000 شاة. You know there are 100 sheep in 1000 which are haram. Imagine we have 1000 sheep, but 100 we know they are slaughtered not properly. فإن نسبة 100 إلى 1000 نسبة 1 إلى 10. If it was 1 in 10, not 1 in 10 was mahsura. So 100 in 1000 is also mahsura. It's clear, yeah? هذا ما يسمى بالشبهة الكثيرة في الكثير. It's not واحد in كثير. If it was واحد in كثير, it was غير محسوب. This is كثير في الكثير. فالعلم الإجمالي هنا منجز. علم الإجمالي here can make تكليف necessary. والعقلاء يتعاملون معه معاملة الشبهة المحصورة. Rational people consider this as شبهة محصورة, which has very limited parties and sides. ولا يعد احتمال الحرمة في كل طرف احتمالا ضئيلا. ضئيل means قليل. The possibility here is not little. It's 10%. Because 100 in 1000 is 10%. 10% is not too little. Is it clear? Clear? Okay. So, we had المقام الأول page 219 الشبهة التحريمية. So alhamdulillah الشبهة التحريمية finished. Now we go to المقام الثاني الشبهة الوجوبية. So the taklif which is known to us is command, is wujub. إن الشبهة الوجوبية في المكلف به. You know there is taklif, but you don't know which is the one which is commanded. تنقسم إلى قسمين. تارة يكون الشك مرددا بين المتباينين. Sometimes when you know there is wujub, but you don't know which one is wajib, it is one of two different things. Al-mutabayinain. One of the two different things. Either this is wajib or that one is wajib. For example, in the noon of Jum'ah, in the time of Ghaibah, you may have doubt. Is Zuhr wajib or Jum'ah wajib? There is wujub. But what is al-mukallafu bih? What is that thing which is wajib? Zuhr or Jum'ah? Zuhr and Jum'ah are not aqal wa aksar. Yeah, Zuhr and Jum'ah are mutabayinain. Okay? Means they are two different independent things. Is it clear? كالتردد الأمر بين وجوب الظهر أو الجمعة. وأخرى. Sometimes doubt is بين الأقل والأكثر. And this by itself, as we will explain, will be again divided into two. الارتباطيان والاستقلاليان. We will talk about it. وأخرى بين الأقل والأكثر. كتردد الواجب بين الصلاة مع السورة وبدونها. For example, you know that you must say this salat, but should you do also surah after hamd, or it's possible without surah? Okay? So salat is there. Salat is wajib. But is it salat with surah or without surah? This is not bain al-mutabayinain. This is aqall wal akthar. Because salat without surah is aqal. Salat with the addition of surah is akthar. One of the two. But definitely salat is commanded. Yes.
Could you say included and excluded?
Pardon?
Could you say included and excluded?
What?
As in the surah was included.
With and without.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can say with and without. Okay, we discuss in two parts, two places. First, الشبهة الحكمية الوجوبية الدائرة بين متباينين. You have doubt, but it is between two separate things. Like what? Juma and Zuhr. Okay? This by itself has four types. You know, فقدان النص, إجمال النص, تعارض النصين, and موضوع. Okay? So, إذا دار الواجب بين أمرين متباينين فمنشأ الشك إما فقدان النص أو إجماله means إجمال النص. Nas is not clear. So sometimes فقدان النص, there is no nas, there is no text. Sometimes إجمال means ambiguous. Sometimes conflict, تعارض النصين. Sometimes شبهية موضوعية. You know the hukm, but you don't know the external reality. فهناك مسائل أربعة وإليك البحث فيها بوجه موجز. He says there are four issues, and we now offer you, we give you a brief explanation. I don't know if you have noticed a problem here. When we say الشبهة الحكمية الوجوبية, then الشبهة الحكمية is only the first three, because when it is موضوعي it's not حكمي. So either this حكمية should be removed and be الشبهة الوجوبية, or al-mawzu'iyah has to be removed. Do you remember? We said because the first three are hukmiyah. فقدان الناس, إجمال الناس, تعارض الناس. موضوعي is not hukmi.
So these are two separate things.
Yes.
So can they be put together in this thing? It's wrong.
So it's better to remove al-hukmiyah. الشبهة الوجوبية. Okay? إذا دار الواجب بين أمرين متباينين. When you know that wajib is one of the two separate things. Two separate things. Okay? فمنشأ الشك. The reason for doubt. What is the source of doubt? Why you have doubt? You know there is wujub, but you have doubt between two things. And the reason for this doubt is فقدان النص. There is no text. Oh, إجماله means إجمال النص. It's ambiguous. There is text but ambiguous. Oh, تعارض النصين, conflict. أو الشبهة الموضوعية, or it is موضوعي. فهناك مسائل أربع. So there are four problems. Four problem in the sense of four issues. وإليك البحث فيها بوجه موجز. إليك means we submit to you, we give to you discussion about these بوجه موجز, in a very brief way. First, إذا تردد الواجب بغيره لأجل فقدان النص. There is no text. كتردده بين الظهر والجمعة. We know that certainly after Zawal al-Shams on Friday, when it's a midday, we have to do something. You cannot say there is no wujub. Definitely one prayer is wajib. But is it Zuhr or Jum'ah? Suppose we don't have text. Suppose. This is فقدان النص. 2. إذا تردد الواجب بغيره لأجل إجمال الناس. Sometimes there is text, but it is not clear. بأن يتعلق التكليف الوجوبي بأمر مجمل. There is taklif, but it is mujmal. It's not clear. For example, حافظوا على الصلاة والصلاة الوسطى. حافظوا means be careful, take care of, look after salawat, all the prayers, and was-salat al-wusta. There is discussion here. What is as-salat al-wusta? Okay? So this makes text mujmal because there are different possibilities. And when there are different possibilities, we cannot be sure what does it indicate. Yes?
Do you know what the most common interpretation of this is?
Normally it's Zohr.
Oh,
Yes, but if someone can do maybe another interpretation. But these examples sometimes are not very real examples. Sometimes just hypothetical.
why did they add hafizu ala salati was salati al-wusta? The two different things altogether. Why did they combine the two things?
No, this is ayah, okay?
Yes.
So if Salat al-Wusta is one of those other salat, it is atful khas al-am. Sometimes you say something and then in particular you mention one of the cases. This is to emphasize. Okay? For example, I say, perform all your wajibat, pray, fast. So out of wajibat, I may single out some of them for emphasis. 3. إذا تردد الواجب بغيره لأجل تعارض النصين. If wajib is تردد بغيره means is mistaken with something else, but because of conflict between two texts. تعارض النصين. وتكافؤهما, and they are equal. There is no tarjih. Sometimes there are two texts and you can use preferences. But suppose here is takafu, means equal.
Can I ask a question here? Taraddu means to return back.
Pardon?
Taraddu means to return back, isn't it?
Taraddud here means
It's different meaning.
Taraddud here means you are undecided, you are unclear. It's either this or that. So your mind cannot settle, cannot, be sure. Yes.
When it's mentioning ta'arud al-nassayn, is it saying the strength of the narration is equal in terms of...
Takafu. Takafu means that they're equal.
So the chain of narrators capturing a hadith?
Yes, the chain, or for example, because we have murajjahat. Which one is mashhur, which one is, for example, something that's more likely to be taqiyya or not to be taqiyya, which one, is the one that unjust rulers may like it, so you do the opposite. They are all murajjahat. Suppose there is no tarjih here. إذا تردد الواجب بغيره لأجل تعارض النصين وتكافؤهما. Because there are texts which conflict and they are متكافئ, means they are equal. كما إذا دار الأمر بين القصر والإتمام. For example, sometimes it's either qasr or itmam. You have to say your salat complete or short. You don't know which one, but you have to say salat. So wujub is known, but what is wajib is not known. كمن قطع طريقا يعد 4 فراسخ ولم يرجع إلا بعد الغد. Suppose someone has traveled 4 farsakh, okay, and he is going to sleep there. and tomorrow also he is not going to return. He returns after 2 days. So is this enough? Because it has to be 8 farsakh, but if it goes 4 farsakh and comes back quickly, again it is qasr. But if it goes 4 farsakh and doesn't come back the next day, is it still making salat qasr or not? Number 4, إذا تردد الواجب من غيره من جهة اشتباه الموضوع. Sometimes you know there is wajib. You don't know what is wajib because of something external. For example, you know one of your salats has become qadha. But you don't know, was it asr or maghrib? Okay? You know, one salat has become qadha. Is it asr or maghrib? Here, there is no problem in nas. The problem is you don't remember which one was the one that you missed.
This is only conditions where you don't find any time clock or
Pardon?
because of the weather or because of you don't have any time with your clock.
Whatever the reason, it has become qadha and you don't know which one. So because it is qadha, so you know one salat has to be performed. But which one? You don't know. So do you need to do both of them or any of them?
It's gone past midnight,
Pardon?
and it's gone past midnight, and you're trying to think back. Either it's Maghrib or Asr that you missed.
Yeah. Suppose their time, whatever is the time for both of them, has finished, is over.
So ihtiyat, you not pray God?
Pardon?
So ihtiyat, you not pray God?
You can. You can do ihtiyat, but the question is ihtiyat necessary or not? Okay. So we have 4 types. فقدان النص، إجمال النص، تعارض النصين، الشبهة الموضوعية. What is the preferred position? إن المختار في هذه المسائل. مختار, what is مختار? Means the preferred position, yeah? The idea that we choose. إن المختار في هذه المسائل هو وجوب الاحتياط في الأولى. In the first, which is فقدان الناس, you have to do احتياط. Also in the second, إجمال الناس, you have to do احتياط. Also in the fourth, شبهة الموضوعية, you have to do احتياط. Why? Because you know there is taklif, there is ilm ijmali, you know taklif but you don't know which one. لوجود العلم الإجمالي المنجز للتكليف. This ilm ijmali actualizes the taklif. Only when there is ta'arud al-nassain, we have an additional point. We have hadith which says when 2 hadiths conflict, you have takhir. وأما الثالثة فالمشهور فيها التخيير. What is famous among scholars is that when the reason for doubting is تعارض النصين, you have تخيير. لأخبار التخيير السليمة عن المعارض. We have hadiths which indicate تخيير and they are empty, free from mu'arız, means they don't have something to conflict them. وستوافيك في مبحث التعادل والترجيح. Inshallah, this akhbar would come in the discussion about ta'adul wa tarajih, which starts after about 20 pages, 15, 20 pages. So, apart from ta'arud al-nassain, you do ihtiyat. This is ash-shubhatul wujubiyya. When it's between 2 conflicting things. Sometimes instead of متباينين they are الأقل والأكثر. الشبهة الحكمية الوجوبية الدائرة بين الأقل والأكثر. Before we go into the ruling, we should know that أقل وأكثر are divided into two parts. إن الأقل والأكثر ينقسمان إلى استقلاليين وارتباطيين. أقل وأكثر are either استقلالي or ارتباطي. استقلالي means each of them on its own is working, but maybe the smaller one or the smaller one with the bigger one. But the smaller one is certainly working. But irtibati is that the smaller one works if the smaller one is the real one. If the bigger one is the real one, the small in the big doesn't work. Like for example, either you have to pay £1 or £2. So it is istiqlali because £1 works. If it is £2, that means you have to give twice extra. But if it is something that, for example, either you have to fast the whole day or you have to fast till sun sets, for example. So if it is the whole day, even Humraya Mashraqiya should disappear, and you do less, that less would not be counted. Okay? So it can be ارتباطي or استقلالي. إن الأقل والأكثر ينقسمان إلى استقلاليين وارتباطيين والفرق بينهما. What is the difference between the two? هو أن وجوب الأقل وامتثاله في الاستقلالي يغاير وجوب الأكثر على فرض وجوبه وامتثاله. For each of them, its obligation and its implementation is separate from the other. When it is istiqlali, aqal by itself has to be considered, and aqal by itself can be followed, can be implemented, and it's accepted. فَلِكُلٍّ وُجُوبٌ وَامْتِثَالٌ. Both aqal and aksar can be obeyed and implemented on their own. كالدين. Dain means what? Debt. Al-Muraddad. بين الدينار والدينارين. You have debt. Either it is 1 dinar, 1 golden coin, or 2 golden coin. So, if it is 1, then 1 works. If it is 2, also 1 works as half of it. كالدين المردد بين الدينار والدينارين فيجب امتثال الأقل. When it is al-aqal wal-akthar al-istiqlali, we say aqal is enough because what you are sure is aqal. You are not sure about the extra. 1 dinar is definitely wanted because between 1 and 2, the doubt is between 1 and 2. So 1 definitely is wanted. Do we need to give the second one? We don't know. So al-ilm al-ijmali will be focused and narrowed down to 2 things. 1 and a doubt. Yeah? فَيَجِبُ امْتِثَالُ الْأَقَالِ. Here you have to do the minimum. What is wajib? Of course you can do ihtiyat, but what is wajib is the minimum. وَلَا يَجِبُ امْتِثَالُ الْأَكْثَرِ. It's not necessary to do the more. لَعَدَمِ الثُّبُوتِ وُجُوبِهِ. Because the obligation for the extra is not proved. بِخِلَافِ الْأَقَلِّ فِي الْإِرْتِبَاطِ. Unlike aqal, when that aqal is part of irtibati, means it's part of a bigger combination, but that bigger combination only work as a whole together. Irtibati is this. It's not that aqal works anyway. بخلاف الأقل في الارتباطي فإنه على فرض وجوب الأكثر يكون واجبا بنفس وجوب الأكثر. If أكثر is واجب, أكثر is واجب. Not that أقل is واجب plus extra. It's واجب as a whole. Good question.
How does this fit in with, if for example you have qada fast and you don't know how many you have?
Qaza of?
Fast.
Okay.
Yeah. And you don't know how many you have.
Yeah. That's istiqlali.
Istiqlal, yeah?
Yes. فإنه على فرض وجوب الأكثر يكون واجبا بنفس وجوب الأكثر. ففي الارتباطي وجود واحد وامتثال فارد. There is one wujub, one امتثال, obedience, implementation. ولذلك اختلفوا في جواز الاقتصار بالأقل أو لزوم الاتيان بالأكثر. Here they have doubt whether it is enough just to do the minimum or we have to bring the maximum. Here there is doubt.
Sorry, Sheikh, about daily. So how if it is about money? I mean, the lender disputing the aqal. You think that you owe him only 1 dinar,
Okay.
but he says, no, you owe me 3 dinars. So how is in that case?
What do you know and what you don't know?
You know 1 dinar at least. I mean, yes, you know 1 dinar. For example, like in this here.
Okay.
Example.
Okay. And you don't know?
You don't know the 3 dinars. He's saying you owe 3 dinars. We're disputing. That's it.
Then you have to pay only 1. If 1 is proved, but 3 is not proved, then you only pay 1.
But isn't there another order in the Quran that whatever agreement you do, that should be put in writing with 2 witnesses, isn't it right?
Of course.
So how can this incident occur?
Maybe they didn't write, maybe they lost it, maybe they started paying off and you don't know how much is left. So,
Can you explain irtibati a bit more, please? Irtibati.
irtibati means that a smaller part and bigger part, okay, are not independent from each other. So either this or this, but as one package, as a whole. Either the smaller one or the bigger one, but as a whole. Not that you know this much is okay and this much you have doubt. It's not 2 separate things. Yes.
Sheikh, is it like coming to lessons for the whole semester and not doing the exam? Is there a good example
For what?
for irtibati?
Do you have doubt here? Okay. So, this is the question. Now, let us discuss first al-aqallu wal-akthar al-irtibatiyain. Okay? Because for istiqlali, it's clear. The smaller part is necessary, we observe it. For the extra, we do bara'ah. But in irtibati. Al-mas'alatul ula. Again, the 4 types comes. دوران الأمر بين الأقل والأكثر لأجل فقدان النص. The reason for doubt again is that you don't have text. But what you don't know is whether aqal is the one that is necessary or akthar. Pardon? Maybe. Which part?
No, we're asking you.
2 lines in the
I said فاللازم دراسة حكم الأقل والأكثر ارتباطيا, because استقلالي is clear, we do the smaller part, the extra we do براءة. لوضوء حكم الاستقلالي, because the ruling about استقلالي is clear. So for ارتباطي we have 4 types. يبحث عنه ضمن مسائل 4. Under 4 topics, 4 problems, we discuss what should we do when we know there is wujub, but we don't know wajib is أقل ارتباطي or أكثر ارتباطي. So the first, دوران الأمر بين الأقل والأكثر لأجل فقدان النص. If you look at the example, it becomes clear. For example, إذا شككنا في جزئية السورة. Suppose there is doubt whether after hamd we should recite surah or a complete surah or not. All the salat without surah is aqal. Salat with surah is akthar. But it's irtibati, because if you had to say surah, then salat without surah is not working. It's not like 1 dinar and 2 dinar. Okay? It's not like 29 days and 30 days for fasting. This irtibati. Another example. You know salat is wajib, but is jalsatul istiraha. You know, after second sajda, you sit and then you stand up. That is called resting, sitting, or sitting for rest. Jalsatul istiraha. Okay? Is that necessary or not? Is that wajib or not? Means salat without that or salat with that. It's أقل أكثر ارتباطي. Or sometimes there is not a part which is questioned. It can be a condition. For example, is it necessary that the dress, the clothes of musalli is mubah, means doesn't belong to someone else? Or it doesn't need to be mubah. It has to be clean, for example. It has to have certain conditions, but doesn't need to be mubah. Or it has to be mubah. So in all these 3 cases, يكون الواجب مرددا بين الأقل أو الأكثر. أقل is salat without surah or without jalsat al-istiraha or without ibahatul thawb. Akthar is salat with surah or salat with istiraha or with ibaha. So the question is, هل الاتيان بالأكثر مجرا للبراءة أو مجرا للاحتياط? You do the minimum, but the extra, can you apply bara'ah here? It's majra, means it's a place for applying bara'ah, or it's a place for applying ihtiyat. Al-Mukhtar huwa al-bara'atu al-aqliyatu wa-shar'iyyah. What Ayatollah Subhani chooses is bara'ah, with respect to the extra. Rationally and religiously. Both rational bara'ah and religious bara'ah apply here. Amma al-aqliyah. Why we can do bara'at aqli? Because we have qubhul iqab bila bayan. And here we don't have text to say that you have to do jalsatul istirah. You don't have text which says you have to do, for example, surah. Okay. If there is no text, you will not be questioned, because qa'idatu qubhul iqab bila bayan. أما العقلية فيعتمد في تقرير البراءة العقلية على مسألة قبح العقاب بلا بيان. The trust is put on immorality of punishing without explanation. So in this case we say أن الجزء المشكوك, that part, extra part which is dubious, لم يرد في وجوبه بيان. We don't have text because we said فقدان النص. There is no text that says this is wajib. فلو تركه العبد وكان واجبا في الواقع فالعقاب على تركه عقاب بلا بيان. Even if in reality this was wajib, but because it's not explained to us, then Mawla would not punish, because it becomes عقاب بلا بيان. وهو قبيح على الحكيم. Hakim never punishes without explaining. Yes?
Yes. The thing is, I'm told that you're entering Salah in Salah Jamaat and you're a bit late for the surahs.
Yes.
You enter when the ruku is here, and they ask you to do the surahs at the end of it. Now,
No.
is it an extra or is it not necessary?
No, you don't do surah at the end.
You don't do this Alhamdulillah Kulullah at the finish of the Mass?
Yeah.
You don't
So if you join Imam in ruku,
yes, yes.
then you don't do your hamd and surah.
You don't do it after that, at the end of it.
No.
It doesn't necessarily.
Maybe he means if he is second and the Imam is third, maybe. Sheikh. Is that what you mean?
No, even first.
No. If you join Imam when Imam is still standing, then you should, in third rak'ah, you should do your own hamd and surah. But if you go to ruku, you wait, he's going to ruku, and then you join, you say takbiratul ihram, and then you go for ruku, then you don't need hamd and surah if he's in ruku. Yes.
Is there anyone that chooses the position of ikhtiyar in this situation?
Yes.
And what's the reasoning that they...
We have the istidlal al-qa'ilin bil-ihtiyat. These are the people who say because you have ishtighal yaqini, you have to make sure that there is faragh yaqini. But we don't accept that, yes.
Again, this is talking about punishment and no punishment.
Yes.
But again, you're faced with two different options. Is there a choice of like choosing the better option? What's better and what's less better?
Better in what sense?
We agree, of course, because it's not going to punish you if you choose Asad al-Bara'a. But let's say, for example, there's nothing specified about the surah or Jalas al-Islah, but you choose to do one that you think is a better option.
You do ihtiyat. Yeah, you can do ihtiyat. But you should make the intention of if it is wajib. Because you cannot be sure that this is wajib. Yes. So you say, I do ihtiyatan, ma fi zimma, for example. So, لو تركه العبد وكان واجبا في الواقع, if the servant of God doesn't do this extra, and suppose in the reality this extra was wajib, like surah, فالعقاب على تركه, then punishing this person because he has not done that extra is عقاب بلا بيان, is punishment without explanation. وهو قبيح على الحكيم. Hakim doesn't do this. Okay? أما الشرعية, religious براءة, فيعتمد في تقرير البراءة الشرعية لأجل رفع الوجوب الشرعي على حديث الرفع. In order to say that we don't have religious obligation here to do the extra, we use hadith الرفع. رفع عن أمتي تسعة أشياء. Okay? One of them was ما لا يعلمون. We say this extra falls under ما لا يعلمون. So we don't need to do the extra. So whatever falls under this, marfu'un, means you don't need to do it. You will not be questioned. Okay? So this is the idea of our majority of our scholars about al-aqall wal-akthar al-irtibatiyain when there is no text. But there are some people also say you have to do ihtiyat. Istidlalul qailina bil ihtiyat. Those who say that you have to do ihtiyat, they have also argument. Their argument is that you know that there is taklif, you don't know which one is enough, you have to do ihtiyat so that you know that your dhimma becomes free. Al-ishtighal al-yaqini yastad'i al-faragh al-yaqini. إن الاشتغال اليقيني يستدعي البراءة اليقينية. Because you know certainly your zimma is mashghul, you must do as much as you can so that you have peace of mind that definitely I have done wajib. So you have to do the extra. فذمة المكلف مشغولة بالواجب المردد بين الأقل والأكثر. So for mukallaf, he knows that his neck is under taklif. Which one? لا يحصل اليقين بالبراء إلا بالإتيان بالأكثر. If you want to be sure that you have delivered your responsibility and taklif, you have to do extra. For example, إذا دار أمر الصلاة الفائتة بين إحدى الصلاتين. One of the two salat is definitely qaza, has become qaza. Either Maghrib or Isha. They say here you have to do both. Of course, this is mutabayinain, the example. But they say this is like mutabayinain. We say, no, this is not like mutabayinain. You have question? Finished? Alhamdulillah. Okay. Yulahadhu alay. There is an observation, a kind of objection, an argument for ihtiyat. We say there is a difference between aqall wal akthar al-irtibatiyain, like surah, salat with surah, without surah, and mutabayinain, like maghrib and isha. وجود الفرق بين المشبه والمشبه به. You said these two are likely, like each other. They are like each other. They look alike. Mushabbah is aqall wal akthar. They likened aqall wal akthar irtibati to al aqall wal akthar al mutabayinain. Yeah, we say no, there's a difference. Why? بوجود العلم الإجمالي في الثاني وعدم زواله بالتأمل. When it is between Maghrib and Isha, you know one of them is wajib and this ilm ijmali remains. But when it is aqall wal akthar, you can say, okay, there is ilm ijmali either with surah or without surah. But without surah, definitely, then this becomes shubhiyya badwi. So ilm ijmali will be analyzed into what is known decisively and what is not known at all. إن الواجب مردد بين شيئين مختلفين غير متداخلين. In mutabayinain, two things, wajib is one of the two things which are different, and it's not that there is a bigger and a smaller. They are not mutadakhil, means they are not, part of each other. كَالصَّلَاةَ الْمَغْرِبِ وَالْعِشَاءِ. Here we cannot do anything except ihtiyat. We have to bring both. You cannot say, I do 3 rak'ah, and because I don't know whether 3 rak'ah is or 4 rak'ah, then I do 3 rak'ah. You cannot say that. هذا بخلاف المقام. But in our case, it's different. It's not mutabayinain. You know, salat without surah is wajib anyway, and just surah is dubious. هذا بخلاف المقام فإن الترديد زائل بأدنى تأمل. That hesitation, that doubt is quickly disappearing because we know that aqal is wajib ala kulli hal anyway بنحو لا يقبل الترديد, there is no doubt about it. وإنما الشك في وجوب الأكثر. So at the end you have one doubt whether surah is needed or not. Yeah? ففي مثله يكون وجوب الأقل معلوما على كل حال. The smaller part is known definitely. ووجوب الأكثر مشكوكا من رأس من شبهه بدوية. فيأخذ بالمتيقن or يأخذ المكلف وتجرى البراءة في المشكوك. So with respect to the أقل we do it, and for extra براءة. ومن ذلك يعلم أن عد الشك في الأقل والأكثر ارتباطيين من باب العلم الإجمالي أنما هو بظاهر الحال وبدء الأمر. So now you know that the reason we have put here in the discussion about ilm ijmali, it's just because of the first look. In the first look it looks like ilm ijmali, but after careful consideration we realize that this ilm ijmali will be analyzed and divided into something which is certainly known and a doubt which is badwi, initial doubt. So أن عد الشك, عد means counting, doubt between أقل والأكثر ارتباطي, to count it from ilm ijmali is according to the zahir al-hal, according to the apparent way of looking at the things. وبدء الأمر means a kind of just first appearance. وأما بالنسبة إلى حقيقة الأمر, but the reality of the question is that here we have only one doubt. Is surah wajib or not? Yeah? فوجوب السورة داخل في شبهة البدوية التي اتفق الأخباري والأصولي على جريان البراءة فيها. Even أخباريون, if you remember, we said أخباريون disagree about which question? الشبهة الحكمية التحريمية. الشبهة الحكمية التحريمية. About شبهة وجوبية, even أخباريين say there is no need for احتياط. You can do براءة. Okay? So, this is about فقدان الناس. Inshallah, we continue the discussion about إجمال الناس, تعارض النصين موضوعية inshallah next session. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين.